They poisoned him with enough cyanide to kill 5 men. Didn't work. They shot him in the chest. Didn't work. Beat him with a metal club. Still breathing. So they wrapped his body and threw it into a frozen river. And when they pulled him out days later, his arms were raised like he'd been clawing at the ice from underneath. Who was this man? What does it take to kill someone like that? Here's the thing. Rasputin wasn't born a monster. He was born a nobody. A peasant from Pokrovskoye, this tiny village in the middle of Siberia. No education, no connections, no anything. But the Romanovs, the most powerful family in Russia, they had a secret they couldn't let the world know. Their only son, Alexei, had hemophilia B, passed down through Queen Victoria's bloodline. The slightest bruise could trigger internal bleeding that just wouldn't stop. In 1912, during what's known as the Spala crisis, Alexei hemorrhaged internally. His legs went paralyzed. Doctors actually prepared a death announcement. Last rites were given. And then Alexandra, desperate, sent a telegram to Rasputin, who was hundreds of miles away. His reply was 6 words: "The little one will not die." The next day, the bleeding stopped. Now, some historians believe what Rasputin actually did was convince doctors to stop giving aspirin, which was unknowingly thinning the boy's blood. But Alexandra didn't care about the how. To her, this man was sent by God. And that's when everything went wrong. In 1915, Tsar Nicholas left to personally command Russia's army in World War I. That left Alexandra running an empire of 170 million people, guided almost entirely by Rasputin. Think about that. An uneducated Siberian peasant was now shaping military decisions during a world war. Russia was hemorrhaging soldiers. The economy was falling apart. And Rasputin had already survived being stabbed by a woman named Kionia Guseva in 1914. His intestines literally spilled out. He lived. Russia's nobles decided there was only one option left. December 30th, 1916, Prince Felix Yusupov lured Rasputin to the basement of his Moika palace. Cakes and wine laced with potassium cyanide. Rasputin ate, drank, nothing. Yusupov shot him in the chest. He collapsed. A doctor declared him dead. Then his eyes snapped open. He grabbed at Yusupov's throat, stumbled screaming into the snowy courtyard. Purishkevich fired 2 more shots. They bludgeoned him, threw him into the frozen Nevka River. But here's what the evidence actually shows. A 2024 study published in Forensic Science, Medicine and Pathology went back through the original autopsy findings. No cyanide in his system, no water in his lungs. Rasputin was already dead before he hit the river. Cause of death was a single contact gunshot wound to the forehead. His daughter, Maria, later wrote that he never even ate sweets. And Yusupov, he published his dramatic version of events in 1927. He was selling books. The unkillable legend was almost certainly invented after the fact. But there's one detail no forensic report can touch. Rasputin allegedly wrote to the Tsar that if nobles killed him, neither the Tsar nor his family would survive 2 years. Nobles killed him. 18 months later, every single Romanov was executed in a basement in Yekaterinburg. Every one of them followed him into the grave. But what actually happened to the Romanovs that night is somehow even worse than you think. That story is next.